Agencies are going to hate this new update from Ahrefs. We all know the feeling, these agencies showing their massive traffic graphs, where they put big arrows saying we started here, and to be completely honest, this is one of my clients, and they show this amazing traffic graph. But the reality is, traffic is a vanity metric. It does not always correlate with profit. It very often does, but it's not exclusive. And this has been a pain for all of us, just in terms of general monitoring and reporting. We see this traffic graph, but we don't really understand where that traffic is coming from. So I'm a big fan of using organic traffic value as an idea of just how transactional that content actually is. How likely is it to convert? Because traffic value is decided by what competitors are bidding for those keywords for that traffic using Google Ads. And therefore, there's a pretty strong correlation with how likely that traffic is actually to convert. So 77,000 visitors a month here, which is very impressive. Organic traffic value, only $5,000. So pretty good going. This client's really happy and we're getting them great results. But the traffic value is not quite as significant as the sheer volume of traffic we're seeing. Whereas if I come here, another client we've worked with since January, you can see consistent volume of links built every month in the blue line. Traffic has gone up significantly in line with that, very beautifully. We had a small correction here with the most recent Google update, but it seems to have settled. And we can see 32,000 visitors a month, but the value of that is also really high, $61,000 per month. So that's the real magic of SEO, where by repeating those same fundamentals of content and links, you can unlock this incredibly valuable traffic. And it's all front-loaded. You make that investment up front, and there's a small amount of maintenance that goes into it, but it works out far cheaper than spending that 60 grand a month on paid ads. And paid ads don't convert as well as SEO traffic either. People tend to just scroll past and skip the ads. I certainly do. So here's an example with another client. We've been working with them for a number of months, and we do often find that progress is quite small for the first few months, and you keep going, and finally it all takes off. And that's what's happened here. You can see that traffic has jumped up from less than 100 visitors a month to now 700 visitors a month. So not a high volume, but of course we're concerned about the value of that traffic. Now Ahrefs' new feature that I really like is if we come down here, first of all we've got branded versus non-branded traffic. So this is a classic one with agencies where you've got this new startup, they're spending on SEO, but they're spending on a lot of other things, like for instance paid ads. Maybe they're doing lots of PR and coming up on the radio or TV. And so it's very easy for an SEO agency to sit around for 6 months and then show this massive traffic graph. But the reality is all that traffic has come from is just the increase in branded search traffic, because everyone's seeing their brand everywhere and is suddenly Googling them. That then goes into the Ahrefs database and shows up as far more traffic to them. So understanding branded versus non-branded is really important. Now, of course, there are still nuances associated with that. So for instance, in this case, it looks like this is all just branded traffic, and that's not strictly true. In this case, this e-com store actually provides certain medical products, where of course the best way to get traffic is to rank for the name of those medical products. So of course they're triggering as branded searches as well. So in this case, yes, it's all branded traffic, so it's branded traffic for the products that they're selling, not just the brand of the e-com store. So as with any tool, as with Ahrefs, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be a level of scrutiny on top of the data that we're seeing required to give you the best results. You want to make sure with SEO that obviously, yes, you want to rank for your own brand name, but crucially you want to rank for those untapped searches where they don't even know about you yet, so that you can align your solution with their problem. But the more exciting part of this update is actually the intent filter. And I've talked about this for a long time. Lots of the people you see talking about massive traffic graphs are very often reliant on informational content, where you can get lots of traffic, but they're very unlikely to actually buy anything from you. And the same thing with branded. Branded is the most likely to buy from you, but that's not really an SEO issue as long as you rank for your brand name. The amount of branded search traffic you get really is much more reliant on how many people externally know about your brand and are searching for you. Whereas what we really care about are commercial and transactional keywords. And we can see both of those have gone up in line with this traffic spike. So the yellow is commercial and the red is transactional. So transactional indicates the user is ready to purchase, ready to complete an action. Commercial is still a sort of comparison phrase, so comparing products or services before making a purchase decision. So I would say those two are the most important metrics to look at. So there's nothing wrong with informational content, but it's your commercial and transactional content that's the most important. Whereas a lot of websites literally look like this, where the navigational, commercial, transactional and branded is all really small, but the informational has gone through the roof. Now, it's not the end of the world, it's not a problem as such, but it's just something to bear in mind. You might still find informational works for you and converts, but it's a good way of digging deeper into where exactly this traffic is coming from. And if you find your revenue has dropped, or there are fluctuations that don't line up with the traffic, by looking at these, you can get more of an idea of what's gone on. Maybe your traffic has actually gone up, but your ranking for core commercial queries has actually gone down. Now, the next useful thing about this, now that Ahrefs is considering intent, is actually in keyword research. So if I go to Keywords Explorer, if I'm trying to find legal search terms to rank for instance, so if we put in lawyer, we can do a search. Suppose I want to start a lead generation website and I'm looking to target what's the best location and best niche in order to build a lead gen website. Then I put in lawyer, I would come into terms match, and then at the top here, I would filter down intents to local. Now, you can also play around with putting in commercial and transactional, but I've found the classification isn't perfect. A lot of the time, these kind of local searches, even if they're really transactional, will still come up as navigational. So for now, we'll just do local. And what this will tell me is where are the biggest searches for law firms and what type of legal case in what location. So here we can see car accident lawyer Houston is one of the biggest, 11,000 searches per month. You can then mess with this data however you like, looking at CPCs, etc. So another Houston keyword. Of course, we've got all the near me's, we can ignore all of those. Then we have Ontario, Chicago. So before, finding these kinds of local searches used to be a little bit more difficult. You basically have to take a guess and put in your location at the top and then repeat that for different locations. Whereas now we can look at the whole of a country at once and just see which locations come to the top. And then if we put in filters for DR, keyword difficulty, volume or CPC, then we can filter that down to find the best opportunities. This is one of the modules I've already recorded for my one-page websites course, where of course it's really important to try and find the best mix of competition versus value versus volume for local SEO. And with that, how you find exact match domain names. So those modules have already been recorded, so I'm going to be releasing that very soon. I know some of you have been waiting very patiently, but I go through a step-by-step of using this process of putting in your particular industry or profession into Ahrefs, sorting by intent, using difficulty filters, to try and find opportunities anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, where there's high value and extremely low competition, and then any exact match domain names that are available as a result. And as you know, if you watch my channel regularly, then those exact match domain names can leapfrog the other results very easily. You probably saw my loft conversions case study the other week. I shouldn't be revealing the URL, but I did because it's a really good example. Domain rating of 0.4. That's just from a few citations in a press release. Already ranking for 4 keywords within just a few weeks and starting to pick up some traction from that. So now if I search the main keyword, doing this right now, this hasn't been planned, skip past the ad, skip past the map pack, and then we are the 3rd result on Google. So whether it's for reporting and analysis at a deeper level on an existing site like this, or you're searching through, in particular using local search terms, then this intent filter has just made your life a lot easier. Personally, I've been mechanizing this at scale, launching multiple sites a day using AI. It now takes me only 7 minutes to actually publish a reasonably good site that's going to rank. And then once those have been validated, once they're starting to rank for keywords, then we'll double down on turning them into really good quality websites with good business partners. So if you want to learn how to do the same, then sign up for the one-page websites course launch. It's coming up very soon. I want to wrap it up with Black Friday, so I'm rushing through for the rest of this week to get all the recordings done. And as promised, a lucky few subscribers will be getting full access for free. And then with Black Friday, the rest of you who are on the list will be alerted to the course at its best ever price.